No Bloody Marys for me, thank you. Now, UH Magazine takes you from the bathrooms to the studios. That's right, local band Studi-Yo performing their soon-to-be-released single, I Want to Do It Too, on Rainbow Jam.
It's written down in the good book. I'm so glad I had this chance with you.
Culture presents a rich blend of pride, tradition, history, and struggle. This culture originated in Africa and has spread through the world over the last 3 centuries. Here in Hawaii, we shall explore the thoughts, beliefs, struggles, and joy of the Black experience expressed through the movement of a dancer from Panama, the words of a poet from Alabama,
going home, where wisteria droops languorously in summertime and afternoons are quiet as clouds, except for hums of gnats and mosquitoes and flies, still as a bird song, home.
The song of a reggae musician from Jamaica.
Say, Johnny, Johnny, be good to
Adela Chu is a dancer who has been in Hawaii for just over a year. She's lived and worked in many countries, learning as well as teaching dancing. She combines the indigenous steps of many places into her own unique style called Afro-Caribbean dance.
The dance I do is a combination of Caribbean movement. That means taking in Cuba and Trinidad and Jamaica and Panama, and some Brazilian movement as well, and combining it with what I know about modern and jazz. And so it's a combination of all of those different elements, and it's just called Afro-Caribbean jazz. Myself as just a channel to allow the message to come through. And I don't always know what's going to happen, even though I might have a choreography already set. I might not always know what's going to happen.
Catherine Takara is a professor of ethnic studies at the University of Hawaii. She writes when she's not teaching. She says it's because she has to. And she writes poetry because it takes less time, and it's her way of saying what she wants to say about her culture and experience.
We'll start with some history and drift into some more personal things. The first number that I'd like to do is called River of Struggle. River of struggle and protest flowed from upper valleys of West Africa. Ancient kingdoms of Sangay, Ghana, Mele, Maasai, and Hausa flowed down to the bays of brutality, the unknown ocean of Atlantic, into the voracious mouths of dungeon ships. Proud warriors and promising youth betrayed by brothers, delivered by slavers into the shackles of Western Europe's avarice.
My poetry is like a call to those who hear it, for transcendence, for unity, and for moving forward, kind of a spiral effect. It includes history and other things, but I think that essentially that's what I'm trying to do, is to have people move up.
You, Raven, are so beautiful, ravenously beautiful, outrageously radiating rainbows in black pearls of dew. You silhouette the morning in angles of sun, a black flash of contrast. Your feathers found for warriors and children. The night, your velvet cloak. Did you ever talk of ravens as beautiful before as soul is black?
When I read,
Grandma said,
not only the words
Grandma
that I
said,
say,
there is
but the energy that comes with the words that I say, I like to throw out there for anyone that might be listening, so that they can leave feeling better, perhaps feeling more enlightened in areas that they had not taken the time to observe or think about before, but especially in a heightened state of awareness.
The only way to ascend was to follow one who had been before. Grandma said, to observe the taboos, to cross the water at appropriate times, up and down the stream of humanity.
Yeah, come on, let's hear it. I'm Marshal. Strictly roots rock, reggae, coming to you. Night and day, time for me.
Born in Jamaica, Marshal began singing reggae in London in 1969. Stationed here in the military in the 1970s, he returned to live and share his music and beliefs.
Reggae music has a lot to say about the culture, not just one culture, but many cultures, because it's based on the natural things around you. For example, the birds, the bees, right? Reggae music says a lot about that. For the human being, it's what goes on within the life form of this system, right? Real stuff, reality, life, death, and all other things.
Macho, like most singers of reggae, has strong religious beliefs and is known as a Rastafarian. A word common in reggae music is the word ja, and to Macho, ja is much more than just a word in a song.
So I'm gonna be alright, I say. Ja love, stronger than the ocean.
Ja is the creator before known as God and other spiritual language. It came down in the Rastafarian culture as Jah, short for Jehovah in that aspect, which is the Almighty above all things and all people. So sing about Jah is basically like somebody praising God, right? But Jah is more mighty where is a mist that no one has seen him. Yea, though some might have, but doesn't yet revealed.
Stronger than the ocean. Ja love, stronger than the rain. Reggae band.
Reggae music is really punching out, reaching out to many that hears these words that it puts out, to really acknowledge and look around them to see what's really happening. How the music puts out love, wisdom, and so forth. The reggae music puts out the whole circumference of life.
The poet, the dancer, the singer, all migrating to Hawaii from other parts of the world, all bringing to it another ingredient to add to its rich blend of cultures and backgrounds. To each, Hawaii is now home, the place where they share their work.
I came to Hawaii in 1968 and was thunderstruck practically by the immensity and the intensity and the beauty of nature. And having grown up in a small town in the South with its own kind of closeness to nature, I don't know whether it's some kind of invisible connection to Africa or roots or something like that, that I am so impressed by nature, but I am. I think all humans can be if they allow themselves to be. So that I would say that nature has been a big effect. And then the great variety, the range of ethnic groups is inspiring because you have so many different flavors, a lot of different menus you can choose from and taste and be inspired by, and that's been wonderful for me.
I get a lot of backings from this island a lot to keep this music going, and that's why I stay, and I hope that a majority of people really gets the fulfilling of this music that reggae is putting out. And it's great to be in Hawaii. It's a second home for me, but someday I'll see my home Jamaica again. When I do, I know I'll never miss Hawaii because it's the same environment, really.
Well, Hawaii is such a blending of people and races, and I feel like I'm giving them in a small way, a reflection of what I have experienced in my life. And in terms of cultures that might not be present here or might not be so well known here.
From Alabama, Panama, and Jamaica, the black culture is revealed through song, dance, and poetry. An expression of life as it was, as it is, and as it may be.
For I have so far seen some of the future, which I cannot put out in words. It comes in the mist. And therefore, I like somebody else to really see that can put it out where I can acknowledge it language-wise. Yes, it's a wonderful world.
I think that the poet is a kind of a chronicler of the times, and I feel it is my unspoken task to kind of chronicle the times.
To me, culture is something that comes out of the soul of the people, and it comes out in a form. And it can be in music, it can be in dance, it can be in a lot of different things, you know, but it's basically the expression of the feeling of those people. And I think we're getting into a place where we're dealing with world culture at this point. Culture is a means by which we are expressing ourselves as a people, but it's also a means by which we're expressing particular things that are really special in that culture.
Besides being one of the funniest guys in the world of surfing, is also one of the most dynamic, one of the most spontaneous. His name is Montgomery Ernest Thomas Kaluhio Kalani, but better known as Buttons. Buttons is half black and half Hawaiian, the result being he's the only person on Earth who can play the theme from Shaft on the ukulele. Many people come to Buttons and say, "Buttons, how can you be so radical?" It's easy, he says. Before going out to surf, he always eats a well-balanced meal consisting of sand and driftwood. button surfs the way he acts. You'll never know what he's going to do next, but one thing is for sure, it will either be radical or funny or both.
And he slides on the wave with his thoughts of one to defeat the forces that compels him down. And the water rushes up and covers his eyes, and he can't even see on the outer side, 'cause he's an ocean rider. Let your thoughts be one. Go out and have your fun, but respect the laws of the ocean. Ocean rider, let your thoughts be free. You only want to spend your time with Mother Nature. See, ocean rider, ocean rider, Ololio, Ololio Moana, and he's in the tube around the girl, the happiness he feels inside. To defeat the challenge that nature brings, he leaves his frustrations behind, 'cause he's an ocean rider. Let your thoughts be one. Go out and have your fun, but respect the laws of the ocean. Ocean rider, let your thoughts be free. You only want to spend your time with Mother Nature. See, ocean rider, ocean rider, Ololio, Ololio Moana. Around the curl, the happiness she feels inside. To defeat the challenge that nature brings, she leaves her frustrations behind, 'cause she's an ocean rider. Let your thoughts be one. Go out and have your fun, but respect the laws of the ocean. Ocean rider, let your thoughts be free. You only want to spend your time with Mother Nature. See, ocean rider, ocean rider, Ololio, Ololio Moana, Ololio. Ololio, Ololio
It's like that in a hieroglyphics, yeah. 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 It's like that in a hieroglyphics, yeah.
Pyro, y'all. It's not a wrong thing to be addicted to the microphone like a heroin fiend. I tell you one thing, you never catch me fronting as I proceed to give the people what they want. You making some green, but not for glamour or fashion. I'm stacking cash until I can get moms a mansion. All from rapping. Nah, man, there's many plans like investing in land. It started all from impressing the fans with brand new flows. And you know, all the way from gangster clones to weirdos, fools use those. But we ain't tripping, give respect when you see this. You need us or your rap's underdeveloped like a fetus.
Those that know not those, and it shows when we broke out the knock, hoes hopped out they clothes. That's positive feedback. Yup, the pros are poised. We never pose, you'll never know. From 93 till infinity, we've been inventive. Creating the bump is our only incentive, and it's been a long time since I feel I've been felt. But the only thing I fear is fear itself. So you know what we got to do? Maybe could we keep it within the crew like it should be? Never giving out, we living out our dreams. If it's something I can't live without, that's my team, you never knew.
Hieroglyphics, hip-hop is vintage. Underground like silos, launching long-range ballistics. World renowned, we groundbreaking. Musical boundaries, running circles around MCs.
It's like that in a hieroglyphics, yeah. 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 It's like
yeah, been rhyming for more than a decade. On to the next stage, while MCs need aid. Stay paid, I'm still great. Hey, none of that tomfoolery. As you can see, this shit ain't nothing new to me. Utterly hovering over other things material. You stuck in the here and now, but you're sweating profusely. Here's a towel. Your fears are now reality when I take your dream states and elaborate on how your team's fake. Like phony IDs, but sometimes I feel like only I see through the charade you made in today. But hey, tomorrow is played, and then they got a new fool in your place to be okay.
Hieroglyphics, hip-hop is vintage, invented in days back, rekindling ways that many thought was lost. In this contemporary maze of methods to floss, we finding trees and trails to blaze, boundaries to cross. We can be found beyond the bounds of reason, or earthbound, heating up the Coliseum.
They rush the stage full throttle in Chicago. Our brains interlock. We're faking MCs get caught with the 40 bottle or get they change snatched pronto. We unstoppable, dropping flows in Toronto, maneuvering through Vancouver and on to Japan, where they put major grands in my hand. Follow.
Straight from the heart, we set apart from the rest. Our perfection on the microphone was predestined. World renowned, we groundbreaking. Musical boundaries, running circles around MCs.
hieroglyphics.
Once again you have passed. The sun of your being lit the sphere of my melody. My emotions tinkle like 1,000 tiny bells, remembering your touch. I greet the early morning dazzle, pick fresh figs and pour kenny for my untamed hair, but their taste and smell seem wan and subdued in your cloudy absence.
As we are trying to build community, we realize that our community has at its core a series of questions. Is there space for our Black community here? Well, I had been living in Hawaii for some time. I moved here from Brooklyn about 15 years ago. And I found that, even though I was able to kind of create a life for myself here, one of the things that I found really missing was that part of my community and a space in my community to kind of be my whole self. So I found that I was really interested in the stories of other Black folks who were living and working here in Hawaii, especially folks who were born and raised here, who grew up here. So I just started asking friends kind of about their experience, and it kind of blossomed into this whole thing.
So I grew up here in Hawaii, and I kind of grew up thinking I was like the only one, seeing someone every now and then, and meeting Akemi and hearing what she had to say about the Popolo Project, and just being able to create community was something that I missed as a child. And it was like, if we can do that now, at least I can have it as an adult and create that sort of community for children growing up in Hawaii who are Black.
Well, it's weird, because I think being Black here is being like a super minority almost, right? There's like, especially when we were younger, there weren't really too many Black people. And it was finding a sense of community, and it's something that I haven't really seen exist here. It's been really cool to connect, hear our own stories, and share.
Coming here, I think I had a moment where I kind of was susceptible to the Hawaii myth. Coming here and seeing really early some of the ways that the anti-Blackness and white supremacy kind of shows up here, kind of disrupted that. And it was a very brief moment of thinking I was, I was somewhere I wasn't. And being here during some of the different occurrences on the continent that I think my community was very deeply involved in, and I felt a distance from that, but still felt the pain of it. Being here during some of those really visible moments around Black people and police brutality, I think that was something that was difficult to deal with. And I think what the Popolo Project really answered for me was a place to really enact in myself and to really engage with other people who are thinking about things that I'm thinking about. For me, storytelling is so important, and I think the stories that you're told about this place often ignore the stories that highlight some of the injustice here as well. So I think that's what is really important to me around the Popolo Project, is making the connections between just the stories of all those impacted by colonization, really.
I met Akiyami in one of my classes at UH. She came, and then I did an interview of her for a project about the Dominican Republic and Oceania. Before I had moved here, I felt that I was always Dominican, but no one had ever given me permission to go back in time and connect to that. So when I came to Hawaii and saw how much ancestry and genealogy is so important here, I had finally felt like I could give permission to myself to travel through the histories of colonization and trauma, and then revive that history through my writing.
During the art show, it was up for a month, the Popolo Project, they presented a couple of forums for the community.
The title of it was In the Black. And it's a visual anthology, and it took place at Mark's Garage in Chinatown.
We decided to choose the title In the Black because in the black is a financial term that we borrowed, being of value, being of positive assets.
But there's a particular reason also why I think we're in Hawaii, and for one, I can say for myself, and it probably resonates with others, that for us, Hawaii is likened to a sanctuary. I look around and I appreciate, what I see, and I appreciate the environment. We want places where we can raise our children, a place that's peaceful, a place that's beautiful, a place that we feel the environment is conducive to our growth. On a spiritual level and as well as a natural level, Hawaii has a whole lot to offer, and I think personally my people can thrive here.
one.
Soothed by the yellow hand of the Hawaiian sun, the mountains drowsed like tired gray men on the front lawn of the old folks' home. Then the strangers came. They loosed their chained terriers of pineapple and sugarcane, sent them boldly into the yard to sniff with eager green noses at the sleeping old. Long since, pine and cane have taken over the front lawn, snapping impatiently at obstructing ankles. They run between the tall, still legs of the motionless mountains as if they originated here, and the silent ancients were usurpers. Here in this cultivated place, growing the soft brown rose of Polynesia, the dogs have scratched, digging for the buried pot of cash returns, killing the broken bush under the flying dirt of greed and grief. Annoyed by the yapping pair, an old man turns in his slumber and the land slides on pine and cane. He sits tall in his chair, and the rains beat down. He rises in explosive anger, and the lava breaks loose from its chains, the smoking monster subduing all who dare disturb the rest of Mauna Loa, Kilauea. There is none so patient as a tired mountain drowsing in the sun. There is no wrath so great as that of a mountain outraged, destroying the nipping dogs loosed on the front lawn by the strangers.
You gotta make room,
Why am I here? Well, basically because, like everybody else, I want to help out in this thing.
You've got the best hearts in town right here in this room. What an exciting feeling it is to be able to share on an international, an international cause. We're doing our little part. That's neat.
Feeling like you're giving a part of yourself. Instead of just writing letters or getting other people involved, you yourself are doing something for them.
I thought this was the Hokus. I saw all the people, all the entertainers outside. This isn't the Hokus?
Well, it might look like the Hokus to you and me, but it's not. Tonight, for the first time in history, almost all of Hawaii's top singers have come together to cut a song. From Karen and Loyal to Robert Casimiro and Danny Couch, Kevin I, Sonia, Henry Capono, Jimmy Borges, Nohelani, the names just keep rolling on. Tonight is a special night for Hawaii's performers because they're all getting together to do their part for the starving in Africa, following the lead of the British band Band-Aid and USA for Africa.
Special kind of feeling will fill you up inside. And giving is a reason when you take the time.
Sometimes when you got it good, you kind of forget about all this other things. And it's nice to start to realize that there are people that need your help, What little you can give, just what you can give.
Henry Capono wrote the music to The Way of Love. And with a little help from Jay Laren, Mackie Fury, Brother Nolan, David Talisman, and Andy Preston, who had the original idea, the whole song came together. And it soon will be a 45 and a music video. Before the whole group was brought together, there were already hours and hours spent in the audio studio to cut all the individual tracks.
Miracles can happen still. We're here to see it through.
Oh, we must believe there is a golden place that lives so deep, deep within our hearts.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do you think?
That was great.
The Way of Love is an appropriate title for this song because a lot of people gave their love to make the song happen. All the artists donated their time, and a lot of the behind-the-scenes people did too. TV stations, recording studios, all sorts of folks. All to raise money for a good cause, the starving people in Africa, as well as the needy kids in Hawaii. All this to benefit others.
We must help our human race. And now's the time to start.
Alan Yamamoto is the executive producer of the record, and he does his best to oversee the whole production.
We say that we don't benefit from this. Everything's going to the causes that we're helping out, but we do benefit. I think for a lot of people, they are leaving here or leaving the studios and they're saying, I'm real proud I was part of that. It was something they gained back. I think it's something that you can't really describe in words. It's a feeling.
You guys don't know how you make me feel just being here. I want to thank everybody for being here, and you know, the song's The Way of Love, so I think we all know the way of love because we're in a special place here in Hawaii. I want to thank everybody so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
With Robert Casimiro at the helm and somewhere around 70 of Hawaii's hottest voices awaiting his cue, they set out to sing for the needy.
The way, that's the same note there for the way. It's the way of love.
You guys are great. Here we go.
In Hawaii, we celebrate a very special feeling that we call Aloha, a spirit of love, a tradition of giving and sharing with all God's children. In keeping with this spirit, we warmly send this message of Aloha to the less fortunate at home and around the world.
Ike kau mau hohanau. A me ko lako pono nui no e o la mauna hana kupaya na e pono no i lai ua mana ui au kawahi maluhia I loko I hoi kana au pono e ka ko ui kalahui o ke au e ho makai o ke ala I o ke aloha.
crying in the dark. Hungry hands reach out to touch a friendly heart.
special kind of feeling will fill you up inside. And giving is a reason when you take the time. It's the way of love. It's the way of love. Love, 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 love. Don't you know your brothers and your sisters